White House Correspondents Dinner, the biggest night in DC media. President Trump, the vice president, cabinet members, media executives, and ordinary journalists all gathered in the same room. But then, gunshots. A man storms security, opens fire, targets Trump officials. The third assassination attempt on Trump in under 2 years. And what do some on the left say? It was staged. Not, this is horrifying. Not, political violence has no place in our republic, but staged, like it's all a big conspiracy to make Trump look tough and boost his struggling polling numbers, given how rocky consumer sentiment is about the economy and Iran. I have a question for normal, old-school liberals who believe in common sense, if they still exist. Why is denial your party's first instinct? The left has a political violence problem, and pretending it doesn't exist is making it worse. And it's not just the fringe of the party, it's like the apparatus kingmakers, the people who have been institutions in the Democratic Party for decades. This is Democratic strategist James Carville, who most in the party consider a respectable, wise elder of politics.
I want to be clear on this. I do not want that man to die. I want to watch him suffer. And I can't watch a dead person suffer. So I want him to be fully cognizant.
According to a YouGov poll from 2025, 22% of liberals under 44 say it's okay to feel happy when a political opponent dies, compared to just 6% of conservatives their age. Political violence isn't new, but the left's version has been normalized for years. Remember 2020? Mostly peaceful protests that torched cities, killed people, cost billions, destroyed property. Antifa and radical groups rioted for months, while the media called it
largely peaceful demonstrations in the face of law enforcement.
Fast forward 3 assassination attempts on one president who is Republican in 24 months. Butler, Pennsylvania, the golf course in Florida. Now the White House Correspondents Dinner, where a 31-year-old California man told Thomas Allen charged security with guns and knives, firing shots near the ballroom, where a lot of people were gathered as well. His own manifesto was filled with rage at Trump officials. This isn't random. This is the culmination of years of demonization. Trump is Hitler. MAGA is a threat to democracy. Look at Jimmy Kimmel's most recent monologue on late-night TV.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Or Democratic Senate Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries just last week.
We are in an era of maximum warfare.
He knows that he's raising the stakes of our politics to an existential DEFCON 1 level. Some mentally ill people are going to take you seriously. Reckless rhetoric that turns into action, but only on the left. And the data backs it up. Democratic politicians always do this thing where they put out a statement after these incidents saying, oh, they stand for norms and respectful politics. Like Democratic Governor Tim Walz wrote, political violence has become all too prevalent in America. I'm grateful for the swift response from law enforcement at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Okay, but this is the same guy not that long ago.
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core. Let that sink in and don't be a damn bit afraid of saying it, because that's exactly who he is.
Think of all the high-profile assassination attempts since 2020. They're all aimed at Trump. And then there was Charlie Kirk, a major conservative advocate who a leftist successfully murdered in broad daylight.
This guy's obviously another of these left-wing lunatics who's come to kill the president. 3 assassination attempts on the president now. Charlie is dead. You have people on the left lionizing Luigi Mangione.
Well, there's a bar in Wisconsin.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You have polling showing a tolerance.
And whose widow, Erica Kirk, leftists have not given a single break, dehumanizing her, constantly acting as though her real grieving and real mourning is fake or performative, or she's doing it for the clicks. This is her right after the White House Correspondents' Dinner, clearly living the trauma of her husband's murder all over again.
I just want to go find
And the uncomfortable fact is that once mainstream liberal institutions like the New York Times are complicit in the escalation of our political temperature in this country. This is the left-wing fanatic who the Times just platformed and legitimized in an interview very recently.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their red capitalist bloods, dude.
A full-blown Marxist, a Che Guevara fetishist, basically, who believes political violence is necessary to impose communism and overthrow capitalism. He has publicly advocated for President Trump's killing in the past.
And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. That which is, I think that shows that there's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped potential, untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact.
There he's talking to disgraced journalist Taylor Lorenz, who celebrated Luigi Mangione's murder of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, who had a family, who had a wife and children, basically being like, yeah, I agree with you, Taylor. And that thinly veiled part about somebody's got to do it, read between the lines. Sounds like he's saying, end Trump permanently. And here's the New York Times letting this man share his unhinged philosophy of social murder.
Engels wrote about the concept of social murder. And Brian Thompson, as the United Healthcare CEO, was engaging in a tremendous amount of social murder.
I'm not saying that the left's violence problem is every single Democrat. It's the extremists that they refuse to disavow as a collective. The ones who rioted, the ones who cheer punch a Nazi, where Nazi is anyone to the right of Bernie Sanders, the ones now calling a real assassination attempt staged, and the ones who are refusing to lay responsibility at the feet of the party leaders, who are constantly saying things that could inspire lunatics like this guy in Washington, D.C. to commit acts of violence. Will the normal liberals who voted Democrat for policy, not revolution, please stand up